Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a mouse. This is a mouse, or computer mouse. As you know, there are many types, but the one that I have is this one, and I think they are quite similar. This is called a Siri, or just it has this lead that connects to the computer. So everybody's familiar with this. If you're having a laptop, desktop, it's pretty much the same. So what's a mouse? For those who don't know what a mouse is, that's the name it's given, but I've shown you is this thing which I think you have come across. But it's defined as a small device that a computer user pushes across a desk surface in order to point it to a place on a display screen and to select one or more actions to take from that position. So it controls a range of things in a computer. We know that it detects two-dimensional motion relative to a surface. That's loosely defined. Now what I want to do is just to open it, and yeah, I'm curious. Most of these electronics, either you find a capacitor there, you'll find a resistor there, you will find a different type of capacitors like the fluid, or we have what do you call it? Yeah, it has flipped out of my mind. We have the capacitor, liquid capacitor, and others. I think there's another one, the name has just gone. You have diodes. They are all the same. Either you find most of these things, electronics, you will find this type of things inside. Nothing really, but arranged in a logical way that they fulfill a function. So even this one I'm gonna open. What I expect to find inside is pretty much what I've said under Jeep. And the Jeep. So let me open this and we see together what is there and how it works. Of course, it must be having motion sensor here, and this is to scroll up and down. It's right click, left click. Here is when you're selecting maybe something, and here also to point the cursor, the thing that moves on the screen, to a particular application that you want. When you tap there, then it opens. Okay, yeah. And of course this is a plastic cover. Motion sensor. I think this is where light comes off. There must be an LED there also. Yeah, common stuff. Okay, let me open it. This is a Dell, actually a very good company. Dell laptop, a mouse. I don't know whether it's in working condition or not, because it belongs to my laptop that is no longer working. So I said, why not open this in front of you, and we will learn together what is there. So I've just removed this nut, and then I'm removing this top. You can see this is just a plastic, and this looks to be male and female where they fit in here, like this. These things. And then you can see this is the thing that you move up and down to select, scroll up and down. So some kind of ball, you can actually move it. Okay, let me do one thing before I remove this ball. We have a Jeep here. This is a Jeep. It has, let me count how many pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 pins. Okay, that's 16 pins. That's the Jeep. And this wire here, you can remove it. It comes here. And I can see in total there are around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires. Yeah, if you follow me, I must have talked about USBs, and these wires, what they mean. To go back to that video to educate you about why we have 5 wires here. And then from here you're having now the resistors, quite a couple of them. GP4 is, I don't know, GP4 is written, C10, these are capacitors. Actually there's a name for this capacitor that has just gone out of my mind, but this one is a liquid capacitor. These are all capacitors. And then we have resistors 1, 2 up to resistor 7, 8. Capacitor, they go up to 12. Yeah. And I think this is a sensor, motion sensor. This one, LED comes through. When you put down here, you see the light down in here, because in this mouse sometimes you see light. I think it comes from here. It's hidden here. Let me see. I have yeah, it's sensor for mouse motion. Capacitors, wires, resistors. I've drawn a diagram actually, but you cannot see it. I don't know whether you can see it. Let me bring it close. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this diagram which I've drawn, and I have the internal structure, architecture of this thing. We have the right click, left click, which I've shown you. And we have scroll the wheel, this wheel that scrolls up and down. And then you have resistors, yeah, LED, hidden LED here. This is what I was saying, this one, hidden LED here. And what else? Sensor for mouse motion, yeah, it's somewhere here. Where is it? Sensor for mouse motion. It must be all in this thing, because the chip is here, so it must be here. Maybe somewhere there. Sensor for mouse motion. And then here the wires are going through here. There are 5 of them. So let me open it further and you see. Let's do it in front of the camera. Okay, I've taken this thing out. You can see this is just an empty case. Something has fallen off. This is plastic. Of course, it's designed like this. And this thing has come out, which is just there, I think, to hold it, or it's some kind of camera. It's a raspberry type. I don't know what is raspberry. What type of camera will be here? Actually, I don't know whether even there's a camera there. It looks like a lens. Just which is put below this thing, and the wheel that moves up and down is this wheel. I removed it. The wheel of the car that moves, scrolls up and down instead of you doing it. And they come with different types of make, and these are things where they are holding these things, like the wheel is being held here, and I think this is where you put male and female of this thing to fit here. And I think now the really thing here is this, the Jeep. It has 16 pins. If that makes sense to you, this is what controls everything that happens here. And these are all capacitors. They have names, you know. I remember this, but these are just going out. What's the name of this? And the resistors. There's not. I cannot see transistors here. I have not seen a single transistor here. I'm just seeing resistors and capacitors. Let's see from below. Yeah, it's a motherboard. Nice traces are there. T6, TP3 is given names TF and TPs. I don't see anything. I see the traces where current go to the parts that are up here. They just named them. You know, you can put anything when you're designing. You know what you are designing, okay? And you give it the name you want to give it. JP2, R4, R3, C7, R6, JP4, JP4. No, from below there is not. What this JP? Does it stand for junction? This looks like Z. 1.6 nanometer. MN. No, MN, nanometer. Is it nanometer or what is this? This 460 R3 94 volts resistor. This is not shown here. I don't know these pins, what the it stand for. Yeah, this is pretty much the things I can see here. That's resistors, capacitors, and Jeep. Yeah, quite many of them. The ball that rolls this thing up and down, and the motherboard. And these things are shouldered. They are not service. They are shouldered from below here. And that seems to be a camera or something. Yeah, it's quite old. Actually, you cannot see it properly unless you clean it. It's quite old. Guys, I've forgotten the name of this thing. When I remember, I'll tell you in the next video. This thing. But it's a capacitor also. They all have the same different functions. And yeah. So this is a total disassembly of this thing. There's nothing much left. And you can see this is the thing that we put inside this jack, inside the jack of the laptop, and then you are good to go. You need to see the data sheet of this thing, then you will know everything. And this is a motherboard. It's really simple to make this thing, because this is just a chip and the transistors and capacitors and the resistors. Yeah, I don't see anything here. And maybe sensor, the motion sensor is there. This one somewhere there. This is because this is a Jeep. This is a hidden LEDs here. And motion sensor, because this wheel is here. People can put it back. Yeah. Here's the wheel. Yeah, the wheel is here. One thing is that you have to be a very good fitter mechanic engineer to really deal with these things. See, this is a wheel that moves up and down. So this is what is inside the mouse that you use. And if you say what's the use of a mouse, of course a mouse helps you to select the applications you want, instead of, you move to the cursor, you know, that one, if you have handled a computer, you know what it does. Left click, right click. And serial, I think this is called serial port. If I have to remember my software. Okay guys, thanks for watching. So this is what the disassembly has shown us today. We've seen this thing, the way it looks inside, its internal structure. this is just plastic. The most important thing in here is the chip and the capacitors and the resistors. So all these things in electronics, you find that these are actually the thing. If there is no transistor there, then there is the diodes are there to regulate current. But now, I mean, to make it, you know what a diode does. LEDs are there, and the resistors are there, and the traces where the current flow to these things. Know the different capacities, say like how many microfarads is a capacitor, farads, yeah, farads. I mean resistant, what ohms resistor is there, chip, what type of chip is there, the logics involved, you know, because chips run with logics, and what are inside. Actually here is where you find, I think, things like I'm not gonna guess, but what a chip consists of, you know. It has all sorts of logics there, and uses maybe transistor for these logics, but micro, very tiny. If you go to photolithography, I'm not going further, actually deep, how chips are designed, then you will find that most of the functionality of this thing, actually all of it is in this thing, as small as it looks. So this is MOSFET, how you have the world. The technology is quite very useful to make small electronics work, small machine. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, like and share. Come again and again, because every time you visit this channel, you find something new to learn, something maybe you didn't know, and if you're interested to know, or how much it costs in the market, I don't know. I mean, when you're buying, you can buy a mouse, of course, because mouse also, when it becomes damaged, you have to buy a new one, but I don't know the cost. That you can find out from the market. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you later in another one. Bye. Subscribe, please, like and share.